arm of government. You can't. You can't. But Speaker, you can't. Teti takwaba. There is no, you can't do that.
What's up? My name is Hon Binwell, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.
Greetings, fellow citizens. Mwebe na Zambia. I am going to do this video with a very bitter heart. Lekeni nsambiri sheko ba mumwe bashaishiba. Ifitu tilat ubuteko. Ubuteko bwali akanika patatu. Government is divided into three. There's what we call the executive. By executive, ni ba president, ama ministers, ba permanent secretary, kuya fe panshi na kuli ba DC na ba shala. That is what is referred to as by executive. Bali ba very independent. Ebe ne abachita implementi if your parliament ichita decide. Elo kwaba ichiputulwa number 2. The second arm of government ba legislature nangu ba parliament. Ba parliament inchito yabo kula panga mafunde is to create the laws. Elo tuapela ba executive, ba president na bantu babo to implement. We are supposed to be extremely independent. Elo kwa banomba na ba legislature, which is amakoti. Now, ilio parliament yapanga mafunde, when parliament enacts the laws, we give those laws, ayamafunde, kuli ba executive, for them to administer or implement. Nomba muli ayamafunde, nga mwabo kutira mwaba misunderstanding to afiro abantu bafiro kumfuana, you now take to the court. Ba court bena besa mukuisamo as a referee to now interpret the meaning of those laws. These three arms of government, they are very independent of each other. One arm of government cannot go and meddle in the activities of the other arm of government. Paribufi, the parliament inchito yabo tekupanga fya mafunde yeka. Ba parliament, they are also supposed to supervise the executive. Mulemfu fondelanda tatupanga fya mafunde ifwe ba parliament. We also are supposed to check that the government by executive, they are implementing what is stated mumafunde tupanga ifwe. What is happening in this country today? We have obotule itat ba UN representative ba rapporteur. There's a rapporteur who is sitting, who has come at the invitation of government. You must get this very clear. Ababa rapporteur be shirokufuma ku UN tabayishire feyo. It is the government by executive that invited the rapporteur to come and look or assess the situation of human rights abuses in Zambia. Meaning that different stakeholders are now sitting to make submissions. Kuriba rapporteur. Government the government by executive is also expected to make a submission or to respond to the report that the rapporteur is going to produce. Other stakeholders are supposed to, make submissions. Ama political parties, by ruling about opposition, they are all supposed to make submissions. Okay? Ama civil society organizations and individuals, they are expected to go and make submissions. Na tamba video imo iya mponya pamsao. A video that has broken my heart. A video that has left me nauseous. I'm just from calling the clerk of the National Assembly, and I've actually told him that, sir, I am informing you that I'm going to publicly attacking you, or rather publicly attack you, for allowing certain selfish individuals to use parliament for selfish gains. I video na tamba, some selected members of parliament, all of them coming from different, committees of parliament, have grouped themselves and formed a committee. They've gone to submit Kuriba rapporteur. Now you must hear this. A committee of parliament is parliament itself. Okay? The chairman of that committee actually represents the speaker. If Parliament wants to make a submission, they can submit as Parliament. But they must be very careful as they submit that they don't speak or submit like they are the executive. By executive wabene, they are going to make their own submission. In this submission I have watched, Abama members of Parliament, they are submitting as a committee of Parliament. They've done a video which they've presented to the rapporteur, depicting what the situation of human rights were before and what the situation is now. Where they've done videos of the violent activities that used to happen then and what is happening now. In that video and the presentation I've watched, these colleagues of ours, AMA MPs from the UPND, have used Parliament. They have used Parliament, purporting to be a committee of Parliament, making a presentation as if they are government. They are even saying, no, as government, we have just been elected. Who told you that Parliament you can say we have just been elected as a new dawn government? Who told you? Imwe Bambudi, who told you that you can go and say, use Parliament and say, as a Parliament we have just been elected? UPND. Parliament is not UPND. Parliament is not the executive. Parliament is an independent wing of government. They cannot represent government. In fact, Parliament is there to provide oversight. Ichisungucha oversight means that Parliament is more like a captain over the executive. You question the decisions and indecisions of government. You cannot go and subject Parliament to that nonsense I have seen. You can't. And I'm here publicly saying this to the clerk of the National Assembly. Sir, can you get hold of that Parliament? Can people start behaving right? You cannot allow a clique of MPs to go and destroy the name of Parliament. That Parliament is a representation of different individuals. It cannot be reduced into an arm of the executive. You can't. You cannot turn Parliament into an extension of the UPND. You can't. It is unheard of in the history of this country or in the existence of parliaments. It is unheard of to see what I have just seen now. If those members of Parliament from UPND wanted to make a submission, they can go as a political party and make a submission. Today, as an individual, as an MP who is independent, I am making a submission before the rapporteur today, as an individual MP. And so if the members of UPND, the MPs, wanted to make a submission, they could have done that as members of the UPND. You cannot use the extension of Parliament, which is Parliament itself, called a committee of Parliament, to go and make such an outrageous submission. You can't. Madam Speaker, you cannot. And effort to pusanina imwe, effort to pusanina, because Parliament cannot be reduced to what you are reducing it to be now. It cannot be an extension of the UPND party. You cannot, reduce Parliament to an extension of the executive. These, by UPND as a party, can make their own submission. By executive can also make their own submission. But to parade and pretend like you are a committee of Parliament, you just cherry pick and pick members of the UPND, MPs from the UPND, and then present as if you are a committee of Parliament, that is absurdity. Takwava imwe lekeni fyo takwava. Baro Ingulube, can you take charge? Takwava ififidechtikef. It's an abomination. It's an embarrassment. You can't reduce Parliament to that circus. You can't. Lekeni ifyo imwe. Kutontonganya kwasha nukumulech time. Who do you think you are, Pakulachitefi? You can't. Imwe, do you know what Parliament is? Parliament is an important arm of government. An important arm of government. You can't. You can't. But Speaker, you can't teti takwaba. There is no, you can't do that. Mwebe na Zambia finshi fi mule chitaimwe finshi fi mule chitaimwe baroi finshi fi. Can you take charge of that institution? You are the chief executive officer, for crying out loud. Can you take charge?
Thanks for tuning in to JQ News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.